You know, if you're like me, any exhibit that talks about space and the universe, love it, right down my alley. So this one is called Sun, Earth, and Universe, and it includes everything from a real meteorite to a space simulation. It is definitely what to see at the GSC. All right, Jessica, you're the expert because I don't know what I'm talking about, although I've always been fascinated with space. So tell us a little bit about some of these artifacts we have here.
Yeah, so we actually had a really awesome volunteer who used to work for Lockheed Martin when they did the programming, or the media for the Hubble telescope in 1990, and he donated a bunch of items from his time during that. And what we did is we actually installed them in these windows to complement our Sun, Earth, Universe exhibit in the lower pendulum lobby. So some of the really awesome things that we are displaying are a scale model of the telescope that was gifted to him for his work on that project. And then one of my favorite things is actually a rejected tile from a space shuttle.
Wait, so that's the real deal?
Yes, so that he actually found it in the trash and said, can I keep this?
What?
And they said, you sure can. And now we get to show everybody what an actual space shuttle tile looks like here at the Science Center.
All right, now what's the big rock over here?
It's a meteorite. So it is something that, yes, so that is something that we have here in our collection. I figure if we're gonna have an exhibit on space, we obviously have to have a space rock included.
Absolutely.
So this is one of our largest meteorites here. We have a little information about the difference between a meteor, a meteorite, and what kinds of things you're looking for if you find a rock in your backyard.
That is so cool. Thank you for my science lesson.
I'm here to help.
This. On to other things. Now that person doesn't look all that interested, but trust me, in real life, they have an actual training suit from the Mercury program. I mean, that is cool. Forget the blank expression up here. I'm sure they look a lot different. Speaking of capsules, look at this replica here. Jeff's here to talk about this. What in the world is this thing?
Well, this was a student project at High Point University for my students in the electronics class. And then another student took it over, and we now have a space capsule simulator, the Argo 7, which is not a real spacecraft, but this is a little bit larger than the Mercury capsules and a little bit smaller than the Gemini capsules.
So I can't imagine anything being smaller than that when you're in outer space.
Yeah, absolutely. They were tiny and crowded. But in this simulator, you get to fly up to the International Space Station.
All right. And I got my.
You have a helmet.
We can.
Got to be safe.
You can wear.
Yep.
If this is all you need to go into space, I am in really good shape here. All right, let me put it on. Where's that little button? Oh, here it is. That's my favorite part. That is my favorite part.
You look just like the Mercury astronaut.
All right, so let me get in. How do I sit? This way?
You're going to lie back with your feet up over here.
Okay.
And then you're going to hit the big green button to start the simulation.
You ready? Wait, I need my visor down. Okay. Goodbye. I won't be at work tomorrow. Where's the abort button?
Argo 7, welcome to low Earth orbit.
There we are in orbit.
You could feel all of it, right?
All the
G's.
stuff, all the things. Yeah, it's cool because you do have a control panel, and there actually is an abort button. So if you're like, no, I've had enough, you can just hit the little button and stop. It's cool that High Point University kids put that together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's neat. But that astronaut suit is actually from the Mercury program. It was a training suit, not one that went to space, but one the astronauts actually used. My gosh, that would have been 50s or 60s, I guess.
Right. I just think it's cool that you can actually get into it, right? Because then you can feel just how small it is. I think when you think of a spaceship, you think of something big, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the size of like smaller than a Yugo.
And think about it that probably had 2 astronauts in it back then because they were cramped side by side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the meteorite was probably my favorite part of that. I mean, because what is a meteorite?
Well, and you need to read it because it described a meteor and a meteorite are different things. And
is a meteorite just like a baby meteor?
It's more it does sound that way. A Chadite and a Chad. Yes.
To that we're going to break.
Take a break. We'll be right back.